in here. And even when we went to see Manny, he was a little thing, but he's getting married in December, so it's so crazy.
Time's going.
Poverty, famine, and violence have always plagued Ethiopia. It seemed like the last place we would take a skateboard until we met Israel.
My name is Israel Dejeni. The first time I get skateboard is 6 months ago, and then I brought it back to the kids.
Like, oh, these kids that have nothing, like their faces light up when they get on a skateboard and just tone down the street. It's amazing what God is doing with them.
Hey, how's it going? This is I'm Yuli, and I get the privilege to be here alongside Stephanie and her crew. We're representing Christian skaters, and we're here in Ethiopia right now, and we're building ramps for Israel.
No, I'm really excited because the Christian skaters are here, and they're helping me build the ramps, and they've been showing how to skate to all the kids. And then we got a lot of skateboards, and which is really awesome, and all the kids are so excited.
My treachery is love,
The first night was just amazing. We showed up and we were skating, and like 200 kids just came out of the woodwork just to check out the skating.
you let me see the world.
Actually, more than wanting to watch us skate, they really wanted to ride our skateboards, which was fun, just giving kids like skateboard rides.
No one needs to know.
It's a draw. It draws the kids from out of every little corner of the village, and once they're out, once they're excited, once they see the skateboarding, then it's a perfect opportunity. You got everybody in one place. You can just share the gospel with them, encourage them, hug on them, love them. Just a total blessing. It's been great.
So yeah, Yuli says he's almost here. So he said just to say hi to everybody. But yeah, that's when we first met Israel, or my husband and Zion first met Israel, and Ian and Simon and yeah, and Matt, and it was definitely a good time. But they had a really hard time finding wood and nails and screws and anyway, so Israel goes, we'll just pray for ramps. And God did some like really crazy stuff. I don't know, it was crazy. I was praying for ramps for Israel, and I had no idea that God was going to do what he did, which is awesome. I don't know if you saw, did you see Jaws's comment, Aaron's comment, Izzy, on the Instagram? You're muted. Hold on.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me now? Sorry.
No problem. Did you see? Aaron wrote, Jaws wrote that you're the best human. That's what he wrote. So I'll wait till Yuli gets here and like let Izzy tell you like a little of his story and what like God's done since then, because that was a long time ago. I don't know, how long ago was that?
That was a long time ago. That was like 9 years ago or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Zion just turned 20, so, and he's a little like staying there. Yeah, I think he was. I don't know. He was little. I don't know what age he was when he was there, but
I think it's about like 9 years.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. 9 to 10 years. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. Well, anyways, I'm gonna stop the share. But we have, let's see, who's on right now? We have on the call, we have Darren, Manny, John, Josh, Melody. Melody's in New Zealand, so you get to talk to. I love listening to Melody talk. And then we have Reed, Robbie, Samuel, Tyler, and Yuli should be here any minute. But and then everybody, this is Israel from, he helped start Megabi Skate with his family in Ethiopia. So yeah, as soon as Julie gets here, we'll start. But does anybody have any, I guess we can start off. Does anybody have any prayer requests or anything? Want to share anything that happened this week?
I have one. We have our 16-15 skate ministry in Ohio. We've got our 4th annual skate giving dinner coming up December 4th. So we'll open up our house and our little indoor for anyone and everyone that can come. So that's always one of our biggest events.
That's awesome. We got the invite on Facebook, I think, but Zion's getting married that day, so
yeah, it would be a little bit of a drive for you too. We have testimony guys. Jeff, I think he's coming up. So
Nice.
it's always fun.
Anybody else have anything to share? That's it. We'll be praying for that to go really well. I'm excited for you. Good. Oh, he's in the driveway.
My internet is not going well here.
So yeah, Manny, how are you doing?
I'm doing okay. I'm just planning with April from El Salvador. Gonna be there for a weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday on November 6th. So, try to, because they're pretty much going out of a lockdown, just like Guatemala. So no chapel, no groups anymore. And we're gonna do this to try to reconnect with local skaters. No, we're not gonna do any public events because I don't know how everything is going on, how safe it is, But we're gonna try to do some, share. Just pretty much just go and hang out with skaters. Try to build relations again. Yep, that's pretty much what is going on right now. We're hype and planning to go there with you soon, hopefully.
Nice.
Visit you. It's nice to see you, Israel. Hey.
It's nice to see you too, Manny.
Where are you right now?
Right now I'm in California, in Los Angeles.
You're in California? Nice.
Yeah, I'm out here for a little bit. So.
Hey,
so cool.
Israel, what's up, buddy?
Hey, what's up, Yuli?
Good, man. Good to see you tonight.
Good to see you too, brother.
Sorry I'm late, guys. I have a skate clinic like at 4:30 to 6:30, so I had to run over here. So sorry about that. But it's good to see you, Izzy. What's up, man? How are you?
Oh, it's good. I'm doing good, man.
Good.
Doing pretty good. Good to see you, man.
Well, good.
I see Carla here.
What's up?
I see Carla. Hi, Carla.
Yeah.
Here on behalf of my dad. He's in a meeting, so I figured I'd just pop in and say hey.
Yeah, Carla is also like helping me with Megabi Skate. Carla, Joan.
Oh, awesome. Well, listen. Well, I'll tell you what. That's exactly what we want to talk about tonight. We just, I thought it'd be a great opportunity to have you come on and how you got started, how it all just, we have about an hour,
Yeah.
So
okay.
I thought it'd be kind of like a cool time to kind of just see how things are with you guys and how it just started. I mean, I remember when we went, we met you. I think we just built remember when we built those quarter pipes? Remember that?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
We were everywhere trying to find the pieces, man.
Oh, I was amazed, man. You remember that? We had to go find screws and then we had to go to 6 location.
we went like all Mercato. Like Mercato is the biggest market, so that was the only place that we tried to find, and it's like it was fun.
Well, look, man, our audience is, leaders from different skate ministries from all different parts of the world. And I know there's a lot of great people on this call doing some amazing things. And, but I thought it would be great to have you as a guest and that you can kind of just let us, for some of us, we might not know who you are. For a lot of us, we know who you are. And just kind of just let us know how it all began and, what God's doing now and, what the project's doing. And, I just wanted to give you an opportunity to kind of just share your vision, how it all started, how did you get involved with skateboarding? Did you used to skate back in the day or, all of that. So for those of you that don't know Israel, this is Israel and he's our guest tonight. So yeah, man, we love to hear your heart.
Yeah. So I'm so stoked to be here, Yuli, and those Christian skaters. And yeah, it's so amazing. Like I sometimes just like seeing where we are right now, it's like I see God's faithfulness, like how just like from the start, I sometimes just think about it looks like it's yesterday and how everything started. Yeah, so it was really crazy. So I mean, I myself got into skateboarding. I mean, I was born and raised in Ethiopia. That's like Ethiopia. For those of you who might not know, it's that in the Horn of Africa, in the east side of it. So I grew up in this neighborhood called Shiromida. That's one of the poorest neighborhood in Ethiopia, and was 10 families and everything. But I've never seen skateboarding growing up. Like we don't know what it is, and it's like until I had a chance to travel to Europe, to Sweden. That's where I saw skateboarding for the first time with my eyes. So like I was like, wow, this thing, and just I was like, I was drawn to it, and I went there straight, and I asked the person to show me how to do this thing. So I'm just like fresh. I don't know, maybe most of all of you guys might have grown up knowing what skateboarding is and everything. So like for me, it's like I've never ever saw skateboarding, and I didn't even know what it was. It looks like a magic carpet. When I saw the guy, I was like, oh, yo, can you show me how to do it? So I was in the high school when I had a chance to go to Sweden. And then that's when like I got into skateboarding. The guy showed me how to skateboard and everything, and then after I did, so the whole time I was there for about like 3.5 months. So the whole time I was like skating every day. So I fell in love with it. So
what were you doing in Sweden? Well, I'm trying to get you to. What were you doing in Sweden?
Yeah, me and my brother, we're musician. Like we do gospel reggae music and some traditional Ethiopian music. So we got invited to come to Sweden for performing. So it was like a friend of ours, like who came and saw us, and also like I used to. So he helped us up. Like he told them there, it's like they're like this family who does like music, family kind of band, and then they saw what we were doing, and they invited us over there, and then we went there, and we got to perform, and that's when like that's the main reason I was there. So I got, while after the music session and everything, so we went outside and we saw like it was a skateboard was just right there, and I was like, what is that? And the kids were doing some tricks and everything. So I ran in and I asked them like, how's the skateboard? Show me what it is and everything. So like the guy was like, you don't know what this is? I was like, yeah, what is this and everything. And I thought it's just some kind of like, like how does they do like all the tricks when they do kick flips and everything. So I just had to check if there is something that just bring it back to, it's so like, it looks like some kind of magnet between your feet and the skateboard, because it just comes back to your feet. So I never understood that the first time when I saw. So I was so amazed by it. And then I asked him, like, before I go, I want to be able to do this thing. And then just like every morning that became like my thing before we go do music and everything. So, and finally when we finished there, and by the time I was going back home, so the guy's like, man, you have a better use of the skateboard than I do here. So he just gave it to me. So I kept on skating back home, and I brought back that skateboard home, and just like in the neighborhood where I grew up, it's a really tough neighborhood. So like we only have one paved road, like where everybody shares. Yuli, you know, you've been there. So
Yeah.
that road.
But I have to say something though.
Yeah.
It might be a dangerous neighborhood, but Israel's house is like a beacon of light. Like his family. Oh my gosh, guys. I mean, remember the coffee ceremonies that we had at your house and stuff? There's a lot of celebration, a lot of worship, a lot of praying, and a lot of reading the Bible over at Israel's house. And I was definitely drawn to that. So
Yeah,
that's pretty awesome.
yeah. It's really like it's just like for us to be able to be in that house is like, it's got a really crazy how we got caught up. We were almost like on the street before, like, you know, just like we owe money for the bank, and the house has been taken away. Like we're 10 families and we were in debt on the street. But like, so we gotta broke into the house. We owe money for the bank because we had a debt. So they took it over, and but God just did miraculously that night. One night, like, so we got to. I mean, before that, it's about like 6-7 years. We've been praying every year. Like we don't have anything to pay back, so like we have like notice warning every time. But finally, after we got kicked off the house, and we sneak into the house back, and we prayed that night, and God just changed everything for us. It's crazy. That's a moment where I really personally see God's, like, I met Jesus. Like even if I grew up in the church and I haven't had that connections like personally. Well, but that night, like we all end up on the street, and after we broke into the house, got in just to sleep at night, and we were exhausted. We don't know what to do, but just like I just like randomly just like I had the Bible, and just like I started reading the first page of, like, it says, in the beginning God created heaven and earth, like Genesis 1:1. So the first line just changed my life. It's just like, in the beginning God created heaven and earth, and just like I just keep it over and over again. So at that point, imagine like I was in this kind of situation. We are like kicked out of our house. We don't have nowhere to go to. We don't have any family. We don't have anyone who could support us, food to eat, the place to stay. We are 10 family, and all of us like very kids. So it was the difficult time. So at that moment when I read this, like, okay, like we've been praying and singing like God is our Father, and like we are still like trying to survive and to have a house over our head. And so until I read this verse, when I read this verse at that very night, it just something changed in me, in my perspective. It says like, in the beginning God created heaven and earth. So like I was like, so God created heaven and earth, like that heaven and this earth. If that is our Father, that's our God, then this man-made house and walls and everything is nothing for him. You know, it's just like, so if a man kicked us out of this house, God has given us the original house, that the sky is going to be the roof of our house, and the ground is going to be the bed, so we will be fine. And then just like we started like praising the Lord, and my mom started worshiping. She's really fire. She's such an amazing like prayer woman, and just such a wonderful. So like we keep praising and worshiping, and just like if God is with us, that's all we need. And like, as long as it's better that we like, imagine if we have God, if we have everything, and if we don't have God, what are we gonna have a profit from this? And yeah, so we started like all the morning, all the worry has been changed to praise that night. And we start worshiping and praying and praising. And the next night we say like, okay, we're gonna go out on the street, but we don't know where to go, but God is gonna show us where to go. We just trust God, and we're gonna go out on the street and then see what God is gonna do. And then the next day we go out of the house, and then just like anonymously, like this person give a call, and he's like, last night I've been trying to praying, and just God has brought your family to my heart, and then he want me to give you this. And then he brought like cash money, like with a big box. And he's like, this is like, God has given to you. This is like a money that I've been saved. And then that's how like we had to take that money and pay all the debt that we have. And then we got to keep the house. And ever since that house, the house has been like a place of worship, and we give grace, thanks. And then anyone who's like, who needs a place to stay. So my parents let everybody to come and just stay at the house. So that was a Friday night. So like every Friday we keep still now, like since then, Friday is like a prayer time and a time of like spending as a family and worship with God and everything. So that Friday night is like where everything started. Like the music that we started is like on Friday night worship, family worship. So we get together, just like talk about like what we were going through, and then just like whatever God put in our heart. So we just share on that point. So like that became like a time where everything was created, God given us the vision. And so like fast forward, after I went to Sweden and came back, so like every time I came to the neighborhood where I grew up, so I see kids are running into trouble. So like the neighborhood is really very poor. So like it's like a lot of liquor store, like local drugs, and people like snitch, like, you know, steal and rob people and stuff like that was really common. So people don't want to get out, like people don't want to come back after they make it out from that neighborhood. They don't want to come back to that neighborhood. That was that kind of neighborhood.
Israel, I think it's important for the audience to know that like there's a gate that kind of separates his house, and once you get out of that gate, there's thousands of people walking through. I mean, it's crazy. So when you go out of the gate, there's thousands of street kids. I'm talking about kids that are walking around with like one shirt to cover their whole body, no shoes. Their faces are completely covered in dirt. And I'm not making it up, man. I mean, it was like, it broke my heart. Like, you're talking hundreds and thousands of kids walking all in his neighborhood. So I just wanted to make sure. I mean, that's Izzy's neighborhood. Actually, Izzy, do you remember these?
Oh my God, I do remember that. That's Mihir's shoes.
Yeah, you remember?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, man. So it's pretty crazy, and it's just an example of a family using their house as a place of worship. And somehow skateboarding got drawn into the mix. So continue. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So thank you. That's very helpful. It's helped me to give good picture of it. So yeah. So this Friday nights, like every time I get back home, that's like a family. Like Friday nights is a time to be in the family, whether you feel it or not. So like that is just a dedication because that we worship together as a family. And so every time I came back to the neighborhood, it's like I see kids are like running into troubles that I used to run into. So like there are things that where I used to think is cool to do, just like there are kids like, as soon as you get out of the house, like what you see is like, as a kid, if that's the only thing that you are exposed to, that's what you want to be. That's the thing that you get inspired to be. So like I used to be inspired by the gang man, the guy who's just like beating everybody, stealing, taking money and everything, So like, oh, when I grow up, I want to be like him, just like, that's like, the same thing. I saw the kids were doing the same when I come back to the neighborhood. So like kids were like running into trouble. So like, it was heavy in my heart. Like, I don't know how to start, where to start. And like, it's so hard because like, I don't have resources. I don't have anything like at the moment, but like, I have like this heart, the burning for the youth is just like burning in my heart. I was like that is when I see a kid running into troubles and thinking that this is something cool. So I see myself in his shoe because I was that little boy running into the same trouble, and God just made me a way for me a way out. But for the rest of my friends, like most of them are not here. Most of them like gone when they were at the young age because they were running into troubles, like doing all those crazy things. So every time I see that, like I was like, why am I here now? Like God just show me, like, or take this feeling from my heart, take away, or just like show me how to do this, because I don't know. Because you want to do something really great. I want to show these kids that there is greater thing, and I don't know how to connect with the kids, how to be like that. So one night I was just sharing this, like I'm just like, every time I came back on Friday prayers, my heart is so heavy seeing kids like this. And I like every prayer request on Friday family time was that. So one night my mother just sharing a story, and that was a time where like it became for me to see what God was just showing me. So like she was telling me a story of Moses. Like Moses was, he was bringing the people from slavery to the promised land, but the time where he was stuck between the Red Sea and the Pharaoh is coming to take them back to slavery, and that moment where like they felt like stuck. So she was expressing that moment that it was like Moses thought like the people thought like, why did we bring here? How we cannot cross this, and how are we gonna go across? And people were complaining and worried and everything. And Moses also like, he didn't know what to do, and he was asking God. He was like, but God told him, use the staff that he has to put it in the water, and that staff, through the staff, and then the story, like how they took to the went to the promised land. So the Moses staff that God has given to him is already at Moses' hand when all the problem was around it. So sometimes we focus on the problems, not what God has given us as a staff in our hand. So when you think that you have all this problem, but if you fix your eyes only on the problem, you lose track of like what you're called to do. So like God has called us to do things. He has given us the staff for each and every one of us. It could be any kind of thing. It could be your gift, your talent, your whatever you have like at your hand, things that you love, things that's closer to you, to your heart. And that might look like tiny compared to the problem, but like use it like something that's closer to your heart, that's with you all the time, that you love you, and use that. And just look what you have, not what you're lacking of. And God is always gonna bless you with what you have. So that was the moment I started praying. I was just like, oh, this is like, God, show me, what do I have? And I had the skateboard, a single skateboard. I brought it from Sweden. And then that skateboard, I brought it out on the street. And I brought it out there. And then just like instead of me skating by myself and when everybody go to sleep, I brought it back in the morning while everybody's awake. So just bring it outside, and then just like all the kids who are like, you know, around the neighborhood going into troubles, they just like saw it. Like I was just like skating around, and then all the kids came. It was just like, I'm gonna show you how to ride. And I just giving them a ride from one corner to another corner, so they make a line. And just like, that was how everything started. So I saw that and I was just like, oh my God, this is what God, this is it. So my heart was just like really like connected to what it was, you know, what God has told me with my mom a night before. And I was so excited. So when we finished, we bring it back. And then the next day I went to church, and then as I'm coming back, they cut like from a plastic, you know, where they carry the water jar, the yellow water jar. So they cut from the yellow jars and then just put under their feet, and just like skating from the hill, like sliding from the hill and say that, yo, skate, Ethio skate. And then that was like, this just, for me, that was like, this is it. This is my step. God just gave me this thing. Like, and then it just, God is showing me this, that like, this is it. And then I was just like, since then I know it, that just, this is a confirmation. So like, with this a single board, like I've been showing them how to skateboard, and then I invite them come to the house at my mom's, and my mom make them like Ethiopian traditional food and tea, and just like, and then that was easily with the single board how we started it. And then like after that, and then just like I got a couple of more boards, and then I met like one of a friend, Stephanie, remember? So like she was doing her organization in Ethiopia, and then just like, yeah, so like I was so fired up. I was like, I want to do this and that, and then I was just sharing the story, what I want to, what I want to do. Like I want to create this. I want to do like this kind of, I was saying like, I want to create like a machine, you know, just like, I couldn't express exactly what I was going to, but I knew, I felt it. I was like, I want to create like, this is like, imagine a raw product right here, and then have a machine that's the center. And then just like the kids will come here. So when they come out, they will be transformed. Like they will be a different person. So I want to create this machine. So like that, like a center. So I want to create that kind of stuff. And I want to have like more skateboard and stuff. So like fast forward. So like, she hooked us up with Yuli and the Christian skater. And then just like, after you guys came, it's just like a different story. Like we had like how many teams were you guys, like skaters? And
Wait, hold on, you're muted.
So we were approached by Stephanie, and you know, remember, it's to me, you know, Ethiopia played something, you know, ever since I was like a little kid. Like I've always wanted to go to Ethiopia. So I don't know what the connection was, but I remember when Stephanie said, you guys have to come. Like you have to meet Israel. This is, you guys need to go. And I first, you know, you're so busy working at a church, and doing your local stuff that I didn't know how I was going to do it. And God made the way. I mean, he really did. And, we had a pretty cool team. How many of you guys know who Simon Woodstock is? He was part of the team. And it was like a fluke that he was on that team. That was God all the way. And because for the kids, they didn't know who Simon Woodstock is, you know what I mean? Nor do they know who Yuli was. But when we show up, we didn't know what we were getting ourselves into. We really didn't. To getting to Shirameda is like you're it's, I don't know how to explain it, but it's like nothing I've ever experienced. And it really fired me up in skate ministry. Like it really did. Because we would just show up and there'd be thousands of kids, man. And you show up with all these boards and next thing you know it, they all line up and everyone wants to ride this board. And you're sitting here and you're holding their hands. Meanwhile, Israel's family has a relationship with almost every kid. And his sisters are praying on the side with some of the kids. They're passing out food. They just have this intimate connection. And this skate obstacles that we built becomes a church for these kids. I mean, really, that's the week that we were there. I was only there for a week. Some of the other guys were there longer. But what I witnessed was a family that really, really, really dedicated their lives to God. And they wanted that for their neighborhood. And when we went and built these ramps, and mind you, we had no material. I mean, the material that we built, these 2 quarter pipes, I think we found a skill saw, remember? I found a skill saw. There was this guy.
Yeah.
The neighbor, and then I was putting screws in with a screwdriver. There was no drill. We didn't bring anything at the time.
But it was really cool though. When we told people we were gonna go, Jamie Thomas gave us a whole bunch of boards. Remember?
Yeah.
And at the time too, so the Whosoevers gave some T-shirts to go, and just a whole bunch of different companies pitched in boards, and Element was just quitting their shoe line, so they sent a whole bunch of shoes out. So it was really cool how everybody in the skate industry was on board to help. It was really neat.
It was definitely a team effort.
Yeah.
And it was like something that was very organic.
Yeah.
And it had nothing to do with Christian skaters as more as it had something to do with a bunch of skaters that just wanted to share God with people. And most of us didn't really know what we were getting ourselves into. And I want to continue with Israel because like we were just there, like somehow God connected me and Israel together. And it was just, we had an intimate friendship like right away. And I don't even know how, I mean, it just, everything just lined up, right, Israel? Like as soon as, I mean, until we built these 2 quarter pipes.
It was just like, even that one, it's like,
they were the
like
jankiest ramps I've ever built. I'm going to be honest. They were the jankiest ramps. And I had to struggle with that because if you know anything about me building, I'm a dysfunctional perfectionist. Everything has to be perfect. My OCD goes gnarly. But these,
okay, because we prayed, right?
Yeah, no, and it's okay. But let me tell you something. We had to sheet the ramps with steel. Do you remember that? Because I couldn't find it. So we sheeted the ramp with like 1/8 of an inch of steel.
Yep.
That when you slid down this ramp, you would cut yourself. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And I was freaking out, man. Because
I remember you were freaking out.
I was like, bro, I'm gonna kill kids, man. And you were like, no, man, the Lord's gonna use these ramps. Remember that? You were like, really, don't worry. the Lord's going to use these ramps. And when we built these ramps, man, thousands of kids showed up. And you know what was really cool is you remember the Ethiopia Skate Park Union. Remember those guys? Those guys showed up too. And it was so cool to see, you know, this family that were just opening up their homes as a church, basically. So that's it for Christian skaters.
So
I want to hear more about how those, you know, how did you get Tony Hawk and, you know, Nigel over there, right? How did it develop into Megabi? Because when I was there, it wasn't Megabi, remember? It was
Ethio Skate, It was Ethio Skate when you were there. And of course, like the name was because the kids were like, you know, the first when they were just like coming back and the kids were saying Ethio Skate. And that was how I picked it up. The name was just like, what is Ethio Skate? So, just like the work, just like that place became like a spot. Like people were coming from all over the world after that. Just like journalists will come from different places, different countries, like from Brazil, from like Europe, from US, and from like everywhere. Like they were like, this is like really creative. And actually like then like the Global Citizen, they gave us an award as the community, like creating such organically changing the community within themselves. So like started through creative work, changing the life of their own community. So like the Global Citizen just like gave us an award like 2013, I think. So, but just the word was just like spread out. Like at that point, I was just like doing what I'm doing, just get back to the neighborhood, work, and just like, you know, the kids are the purpose is just changing the kids. So like, so that thing, so with the name Ethio Skate, that was like, I mean, the first, like when we were doing that, like, remember like the guys from Australia who said like they came up with the name with the Ethiopia Skateboard project.
Yeah, the Ethiopia Skate Park Union or
project or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they just like they don't exist actually. Just like when they saw that you are coming, so like I guess on the social media, they just started like create like just, you know, something.
Yeah, no. So when we got, let me explain. Like, so when we got there, you know, because we were just like, yo, like we're just gonna go, and so Tony started to advertise what we were doing in the project. And when we showed up at the airport, there was some other organization. They almost picked us up, and we almost went with them. Do you remember that? Like, and they were not Israel. Like it was like we almost got in a car with somebody else and went on another project and actually worked for something. Like we almost built for the wrong. I wouldn't say the wrong, but it was like another community that saw what Israel was doing, and so they wanted to take it, but they weren't Christian. You know, they didn't have a message. They just wanted.
But they don't exist at that time.
Yeah, they didn't even.
They don't exist at all. So it was only like one Australian guy, and he was doing other things. So when they heard that you guys are coming, they just built this magnet, just like you know, just a poster kind of thing.
Yeah, I remember.
Put it on their car, and then just like their driver was.
It was
just
Lion of Judah on a skateboard. That's what it was. And he had when I got out of the airport, there was a guy, and I thought I saw the Lion of Judah, and I actually have it tattooed on me now. I was a Lion of Judah on a skateboard with the Rasta flag with the red, green, and gold.
Yeah.
And he had a thing, and I didn't even realize. I thought it was Israel, so it was like crazy.
But the cool thing is like one of the guy there, like their driver, who was like they were saying that he is their representative, he was their driver, and then he came and saw the work. You know, his name is Dawit actually. Like he came and saw the work, and he's like, he came and talked to me. He's like, by the way, I think this everything is like here. Like they just told me what I should be like this. I don't even know what it is. You know, he was just like telling me. He was Ethiopian. Their driver. Remember, like his name is David. They put it like the Ethiopian side, and then but as soon as when I thought they were like exist there, so I asked like, oh, maybe can we go to their place, because I never knew that was like skateboarding exists there, like. And then the guy was just like say that no, like we don't, and everything. So like David told me, the guy, the driver, the Ethiopian driver, told me that by the way, I think what you're doing is really cool. And he's just like he told me that like we don't exist at that time. So like we just like, what is this? He come and just ask me, what is this and that and that and that. And I was like, oh, this is, I started telling him, and finally I was like, where do you guys located and everything? So he's like, no, we don't locate it anywhere, but and then just like, you know, we just kept on doing the Ethio skate. And but the guys were like, they have a different agenda, like you know, this kind of thing happens with like, and like there are like people who try to take stuff like that, like you know, probably the guy who wants us to start, he was not even in Ethiopia at the moment, so he sent like the guy, remember, like finally at the end he was asking, finally he ended up doing like what do you call it, like he used our footage to just to fundraise and collect money and
Well,
everything.
There were many nights where you called me and you were really discouraged. Do you remember those days, man, when you were just like, really, I don't know, man. And I was like, bro, what God is doing in your home, that's what it is, man. Like, but it's just an awesome testimony. And for all of us, we're gonna kind of relate, because I mean, you know, there's so many skate ministries that don't really work together, which they should work together, and they just see something and they just, oh, we're going to do this, but yet we got to work together. That's why we do this whole Zoom thing, you know, is that we can all connect. Remember, guys, you can connect with Israel anytime, you know what I mean? Like, we want you to connect with Israel, you know, we want you to hear more. I mean, we only have an hour to hear the story, and it's very long. There's a lot more layers to Israel's story, how he started at his house, and then how he had this vision, and how God really brought all these people to make that vision happen. And it's an honor to play a little bit of a part in God's story, because really it's his story, it's his thing. I mean, and that's how Israel always thought of it. Am I right, Israel? I mean, correct me if I'm not.
Yeah, that's right.
So how did you, so from there, so you had these janky ramps that Yuli and the team built, and in between you came and visited us, and we were talking about getting like some fresh park ramps or mobile. How are we going to do this? And we're like, we'll just pray. And then, so how in the world does it go from them being there to Tony Hawk and Nija and Jaws and everybody coming out and saying, hey, we're going to build you an epic concrete ramp? How does that happen?
And Black Panther, let's talk about him.
I mean, and how does it go from Israel doing that to there?
It's definitely like it's a God thing, you know, just like God is doing everything. He's just making a way. I was in a time where, like, you know, just like everything seems to be against you, like, you know, just like until this point, like I never even just like, you know, it's me and my family are like sponsoring everything, like all the hard work. It's just God has given us, and then this is the vision God just gave it to you. So like we were just going back and serving the community and doing everything we can. So like we keep having like from different people, like they come and just like scam our programs, and it was just it hurts your heart because you see your kids like they use your footage and everything. So you were just like at that time like we didn't know, we don't have like from as a in Ethiopia, like we don't have anything to buy online or anything. So just like so, but just like the second guy, and it was like twice we had like 3 different people just scam our program because they saw an opportunity. They saw this is like really cool stuff is going on, and we're not like crowdfunding, we're not asking for money or anything. So like they use an opportunity. How can we leverage this and just like change the story a little bit? And they trickery the name and everything, and then they did. We had that like a second time, like a guy from California, actually, like a photographer. He ended up in Addis, and then he ended up like taking the like our name, Ethio Skate, the name, and just like everything was taken away. And then just like if you're putting like our names, it just takes to their donation button. Remember, like
Yeah, no, I remember. And
you guys.
Go ahead. Sorry.
So that was the time like where I was like, I was asking God, just what do you want me to do? Like, should I continue with Ethio Skate name? And how am I going to continue? Because every time you do something, just like other people will come and just like snatch it and take it for their personal, just social media is pretty cool, but as well, like, you don't know what, if things are really going on the ground. So, but just like, we were just like beaten so hard at that time. Like I was frustrated because I don't know what to do. But I just get back to the, where I'm just like, what, like God called me to do just with this kids right here. I'm just gonna keep on doing what I'm doing. And I always get back and I leave all the distraction, like other distraction will come in the same kind of way. So I just keep trying to get away from that and keep on doing with the kids and continue the ministry. And then just I saw God's faithfulness while I was just like focused on my kids, just going back. I was just like, okay, let them do whatever they want. I didn't start these things so that it can be worldly known, or like I didn't start this thing so that like other people to come and scam it or something. But I did this because God told me to do. And that is my main vision, my main purpose. It's just like, I got to get back. There's going to be even more people who's going to come and take it, but I got to do faithful to what I was doing. I just started focusing on what God has gave me with the kids in Shiromeda, keep doing what I was doing. And then just like next thing, just like I got hit by Tony Hawk, and he was like, and through our mutual friend, like Flea from Red Hot Chili Pepper. So, and he and I did like, he actually came like one time to play bass for the kids, and he played, and then so like after he came back, so like I came to US for a little bit, and then Tony hit me up and he's like, oh, you want to meet up? I'm about to go. He was going for doing something, but he's like, oh, do you want to grab some lunch? Let's link up. And then just like, then we went, and I had to take a bus trying to find where to go. I was still new for the area. And finally we end up meeting, and then I showed them like what we're doing. I showed them the ramps and the kids, and then he's so just like on the phone, and he's like, and we talked about it, like, I told them the vision, what I'm doing, and what is happening down there with the kids and their lives. Then he fell in love with it, and he's like, yeah. So that's how we got connected with Tony. And just later on, Niger got involved, and then I met Niger as well. Like, I guess like, yeah, Niger knew about our works too. I guess probably like through Tony, or so. And then just like we start like talking about it, and then I wanted to do something like to build more for our kids, and how to do, like, I want to learn how to do better what I'm doing, just focus on the work that I do. And then at that point, like, all our domain was hijacked and everything was hijacked. So I was asking God, like, how am I gonna start like doing this? And then I had, like, God just just to change the name to, it's actually my dad's idea. Like, my dad idea, like, he told me, like, you should do it Megabi instead of Ethio Skate. I mean, maybe it's God wants you to change the name. Just why don't you name it Megabi Skate? So Megabi means, in our language, it means, a pastor, or like a nurturer, or a giver, or like who provider, like a giver who gives light for others. So, which, like, my dad used to call me as a nickname, even just back in the days, was that. So he just named it, like, you should call it Megabi, because that's what exactly doing right here, because you are giving and guiding kids to the right destination. And that is a light for the kids. You're showing a light and guiding them to the right destination. So you should name it Megabi. So, like, as soon as that, like, it just makes everything make sense to me. I was like, oh, maybe God just, God is like, okay, God knows whatever is happening around you,
So
and then he always change it for something better. So I was like, this is amazing. So we changed it to Megabi. That's why. And then since then we changed it Megabi, and like we continue with that.
Israel, and I think it's important for them to know too, when you say scam, you're talking about people from the outside that would take this man's domain, steal the domain, take everything, redirect stuff, and basically raise thousands and thousands and thousands. We're talking $50,000-$60,000, where we still don't know where it went. And I remember Israel calling me, and I remember Israel, we used to say, man, God's got a plan, bro. Don't, like, we can get mad at this, bro, but this is, like, obviously we're doing something right. And
stealing skateboards too.
Yeah, and they were
skateboards.
stealing skateboards too. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah.
And the reason why I'm sharing this is because it's like I can relate, because it's like you're doing your projects. We all have projects that we're doing, and I feel like sometimes we can get to a place where other people seem like they're attacking us, or we can get. That's when the light kind of shines on us, and what are we going to do as leaders? And I just saw Israel just, he would call me very discouraged, but he was very, when I mean this, I mean, he wouldn't outwardly freak out on people. It was more of I'm going to just pray and trust in God. And his family always rallied around Israel. Your sisters, you got to let them know how many family members you have too. Like, you have how many? Tell us about your brothers and sisters too, because it ain't. I mean, I know everybody talks Israel, but it's not just Israel. Your whole family is a part of this.
Yeah, it's true. It's like it's a whole family, really helped out. And it's not at all. I wouldn't know like what to start. Like, just like it's like the whole. My parents have been like from the point, when you first bring skateboarding, like the whole neighborhood was just against you. Like, just the whole neighborhood, they were just, why are you bringing this thing? Are you trying to kill the kids? Like a lot of things. So, but like, a lot of like hammering from different angles, and then but just God just really blessed me with the parents who are like really supportive and humble, just like give everything for God's glory. And then my sisters, and Mulikan especially, like she's been doing like the girls program, like you know, girls, like how it's in Ethiopia, or I'll just talk about in Ethiopia. It's pretty common, like most African countries, but in Ethiopia as well. Like it's a very, like, girls, you know, they, you know, automatically they cannot go, like, you know, for outdoor exercises and everything. They only have that. Okay, they have to go do chores and do things, you know, a lot of things. It's just that it's on their shoulder, like, you know, helping the family and doing everything. And so, like, in our ministry, so my sister Mulukan, she is really working really amazingly with the girls empowerment. And just like from the time, you know, just like they don't have guidance, you know, just like a lot of girls end up like abducted, and just like, you know, just a lot of crazy things. So like she's been working really amazing with our girls, and just teaching them and showing them, and then guiding them, just having to be able to learn, like, you know, from simple, like how to take care of themselves and their body, and also, like, you know, with the word of God, and also with some educational things. She has different programs. So Mulukan has been doing really great with the girls team. With
How many
Megabi
kids do you guys usually have? Like,
we right now we have like in a I mean, like when we have a session, like kids will show up like around 100 kids in the compound. But just we have a list, so we have about 215 now, like registered, and who are coming in different times. And we have 10 leaders from the first time. You know, you usually when you come back this time, you'll meet all the kids that, you know, from little, they are the one who are like running the project, teaching how to skate and everything.
And we're
so
planning on Israel and I are planning on doing a trip and inviting all you guys to come with us. And we've been talking about it for a little bit of time. But you know, it's 8 o'clock right now.
Can I ask
I kind of want to, yeah, of course. We're going to open it up for questions, Israel, because I think it's important for everyone to kind of get to know you a little bit. You know, gosh, there's so much. I mean, I think we can talk another hour about what you do, you know, because you guys also have to understand that they're a band too. They're a worship band. Man, I want to put you on the spot and have you sing a song for us, but I mean, that's up to you. I mean, to hear these guys worship is pretty awesome, man. Remember the Gamawe? Remember that song?
Yeah.
And that's how the skate sessions open up, man. It's like you're drinking coffee. First off, Ethiopian coffee. I'm telling you right now, you drink like that much of it, and you're up all night singing worship songs, you know, and but that's how the skate sessions operate. But one thing that I think is really important, I want you to explain to them, what is the Dream Big? What is the Dream Big program?
So
and all that.
Yeah.
That was what I wanted to ask you.
I was going to get around to it.
Good. So like in our activities, like we have throughout the week, we have a give back time, make somebody happy day every Saturday. That's where a time where all the skaters will go around the neighborhood, give back, just like help out the community, like door to door. And they were like, just clean their, whatever they need help with, just to find a way to give back to the community. So like we've been doing that that's one of the things that changed the community in our neighborhood. That's like, we call it a happy day, or make happy day. Make somebody happy day. That's every Saturday. And once a month, we have a Dream Big stage. So it's a stage. I started. You remember, like it's our office. Like
yeah, no, I remember.
So our office outside, we have like 2 stairs down. So like it's a dirt ground. So that's when the stage is like, you know, the 2 stairs up, and just by the office, like there is a platform. That's where we started as a Dream Big stage, where kids are just like going on the stage, where they can just show their different talents or different gifts that they have. So the way how it started is that, like, you know, we're working with a lot of disadvantaged kids and kids in the street and like that. So, you know, they have so many questions, and it's so hard to see their future, their dreams, and like to dream big and everything. It's so impossible because it's just so many layers of problems, like clouds around, you know, the vision. So we create that spot where they can, we wrote a Dream Big stage. So when you are on the stage, you are the person that's like, whatever gifts that you have, if you love singing, if you love singing, and then you will sing on that stage, and then but you say like you are a singer. And then if you are poetry, if you love writing poetry, so you are a poet. So you go on the stage and you introduce yourself. I am a poet. My name is this, and I am that. So like they manifest, they say what they would like to become. So at the moment, at that very moment, they use a present tense. So, and then they show, simply we started among ourselves, our crew. So like, you know, everybody starts getting up and just like one, and then the next thing you know, like the kids love it. And a lot of talent I start seeing among the kids. So many kind of like creative gifts that they have. They even make like a speaker, just like some are like making stuff from like garbage, but they just make things, it's really beautiful stuff. So
president, right? Somebody wanted to be the president.
Yeah, we have the president Dagi. So the president, he's amazing. He's known everywhere as a president, but he's really good in his education. He's just like getting really, really good and like involved with the community in Megabi Skate. So right now we do it outside on the street. Like the government will let us block the street, the main road, and then just like we set up a stage, 8 kids just show their different, they prepare what they're going to show or do on the stage on that month, and then they just become a way of like expressing themselves and excel and just use their skills and just gifts that they have. And every month I bring like one person who can share their stories as well, like as a, you know, just like who, you know, everybody have got their struggles. So people don't know where, like people may know like Israel, like the one who is just right now, the current Israel, but they don't know where I started and everything. So it's just like the same thing. I bring like different people on the stage from different professions, and then they share their stories, their testimonies, and in how they used to be, and what became a point of light for them, and so that this can relate to one of the kids, you know, at least it will relate one of the kids, and how like, you know, sometimes when you have a lot of problems around you, and then if you see one single light, and then just to focus on that. So that became really impacting the community, and now the community with us, and the police they don't chase us away now. They are with us.
I remember when I was over there. Do you remember when Simon was out like in the streets and he was evangelizing, and the police came? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Like, and they were telling me it's illegal to do that. You know, they were telling me, and they could arrest me and stuff. And so I remember. So to have the police on your side now shows
now
you.
We have the police. Yeah, we were in jail. Like I went in jail like because of what I was doing back in the days, you know, because they thought I was just like creating some gangs and like what are you guys doing here, and you're destroying the road and this and that, and they just put us there, like with the kids. you know, that was back in the days, but now they're like with us, like helping us. And so it's amazing how God has changed everything, like every time along the way.
Well, guys, it's 8:09. I want to give you guys an opportunity to ask any questions. What we can do, if you guys have a question, you can unmute and you know, any questions you want to ask Israel. Israel, if you have any questions for anybody else, like, you know, I just really wanted you to be a guest, to kind of introduce yourself. These are different ministry leaders from all over the world. I see we have Melody from New Zealand. We have Tim Stork, that's about 2 hours away from me, I think. We got Darren, we got Lyle, we got Tyler's listening. We have Drew, we have Manny from Guatemala. I just think it's really important. I mean, I know you guys, for a lot of you guys, have heard about him, but have you ever met him? Have you ever get a chance to talk to him? Here he is, man. You know, I want to make that connection because I know Israel, and there's a family that will welcome you guys with open arms, man. They will.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're actually planning on a trip very soon, Lord willing. We get through this COVID thing, and we can go and spend some time with Israel and his family. So I guess do it maybe like 5-10 minutes if you guys want to ask some questions, or if not, whatever you want to do, Israel. Like, I'm just trying to help, you know.
And then we're gonna wrap up with sing a song.
What do you think? Can we get you to sing? Okay. You can say no.
You have to have us do the moves. Remember, like how.
All right, Juliet, I'll kick it off if you want with a question.
Yeah.
Drew from Seattle, Washington. So as you're going through and you see kids that you're working with, and I mean, you've been doing this for years, and when you're in ministry, and I've done like junior high guys ministry, I guess here's my question is, over time, you know, God's going to gift you, I think, or, you know, I don't know the best way to put this, with eyes to kind of see the way he does. And when you see kids, I mean, as you've matured through your ministry, what kind of things do you see that God has kind of gifted you with? You know, like, even like, let's say, you know, when a kid, and I know that I'm taking this from another interview you did with Ryan Reese, where, you know, you're talking about a kid who was like hungry, and I'm not just specifically saying hungry, and he says he's not hungry, but you saw that he was hungry, but stuff like that. Have you come across that?
Yeah, it's now I just like having a flashback with my life. Like I used to be like, why did God made me like this? You know, why did I grow up in Shiromida? Why did I was born in this neighborhood? Why did I have to be an empty stomach the whole day at the school and couldn't focus? Why do I go to school just me with barefoot, no shoes? And why am I the poorest in this world? Why, you know, this all whys like has been for a long time. Now just a flashback, I see like, you know, everything that I was going through, it's just God is just like has a plan, and he was making it to be able to do it. Like, you know, we all are like, not just to be just like, just be content by ourselves and everything, but he is creating me, he was making me and building me to be able to relate and understand why these kids were going through what they were going through. So like, I know now when I just like sit with the kids, just having a conversation, I understand. I don't have to ask them the details, like, but when I just have a little conversation, I know what kind of problems that he was going through, and just like in the family, or like he was going through some kind of problem. So like God just gave me this gift just to know and to understand and to see there. Like sometimes I just talk about, you know, like specific things, and then it became like this kid's what he was going through at the very moment. And yeah, just like I see God is just doing, he has been making me like to relate with this kid, to serve this kid better now, like because I was that kid at that time. I was the kid who was like who was like nobody wants to be with, and I was the kid who was, you know, who doesn't have anything. And now just sitting with kids who felt like that kind of feeling, and when I share them, and what I feel them, I feel what they were really going through. So just God gave me a way to understand and to love more, and just to be there for them in this kind of way. So every time I start growing and like knowing why God is doing what he was doing in my life, and all the bads and the higher and the lowers, you know, and I've seen his faithfulness.
And I forget, I just came across this, I think it's in Ephesians, but it's, if you're like the poorest, you are the highest position. And if you're the richest, you're like the lowest position, but they're both the same in God's eyes. I forget that. I think it's Ephesians. I'll have to look that up.
That's right.
Thanks.
Yeah. Anybody else want to ask a question or?
What's the name of your band? I was just checking some videos on YouTube. I wanna hear more about your music.
Okay. So the name of our band. What was that? Did I? Okay. So yeah, so like me and my family, we started our band is called the Bright Colors, and then just like we're doing it now more like the Megabi Skate project. We have actually a music program for kids. So we're gonna have, we actually recorded, and then everything is ready to put out in a month or two. So nice. So that's gonna be like for rebuilding Megabi Skate. So so we had a fire accident a year ago. Like we lost 10 rooms. It's a non-fire accident, but everybody was fine. Nobody got hurt. So we are on the process of rebuilding the Megabi Center. So for that, we are doing, like, we did our music, and we're gonna bring our gifts. So we offer that. So we're gonna put out, like, for the first time, to have like people to involve, and then we gonna start like promoting, like maybe in a couple of weeks. So at that time, by our music, the kids' music and our music is gonna be released, and it's really amazing. It's really amazing. So cool. It's a worship song done by 6 kids. And yeah, so it's you guys gonna love it. I'm gonna put it out, and Yuli, can you just, I'll send it to Yuli, or just put it out there.
No, so, you know what we could do is I'll send it, and I'll make sure everybody gets a hold of it.
Okay, yeah.
You know, I think you can find some videos. I know you have the one video, Gone Away.
Yeah.
Video. You know what? I'm gonna have Tony.
Yeah.
Tony. Is that still on YouTube? Gone Away.
Yeah. It's all in YouTube.
I'm gonna post it tonight. Okay. I'm gonna post it tonight on Christian Skaters, and it's so great, guys, because it's Israel's family. Like, you'll see his mom, and you'll see his dad getting down, and his sisters, and they're just singing this song, and then all the kids are involved in it, and the way they dance and stuff. And there's no production, man. It's just, that's what you guys do.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty special. But what does Gamaway mean anyway?
Gamaway means my lion. You know, the lion.
Lion.
So Gamwe, so my lion is Jesus Christ. So like Yasusa means Jesus. So like it's the lion of Judah, the Jesus, he's with you, and then that's the whole thing. So like so you don't have to be afraid, and you gotta go as a lion, go out to the world with full with we call it like so without fear, go without fear. And so that's what the message is about. It's like you are children of the lion, so go as a lion without no fear.
Awesome.
So
Nice.
so that's a song about, and yeah, it's the bright colors, our family, my parents, my siblings, and the Megabi kids, everybody, we all just did this together. And it's a blessing. It's such a
That's
blessing.
so cool.
Yeah, thanks.
Good news. Yeah, we can't wait to hear that song and the new music material coming. So
Yeah,
cool.
I thanks.
Yeah, we'll have that video. I'll tell Tony. We'll have that video. Hey, Israel, send that to me if you could, because I know you have it. Send it to me and I'll put it out, because I'll have to look for it. And every time I look for it, I always spell Gamaway wrong. And frustrates me. So I definitely want them to hear it. So I think it's great.
Yeah, definitely. I'll send it to you.
Cool. So anybody else want to end?
And like the music that we do is just like it's with the gospel reggae music. So I've been doing a lot out here. Some with Christopher. Have you guys might heard of?
Oh, really?
Them. We did some with them, and Solomon Jabi as well. Like I and him have been doing few music with them, and with Corn as well. We record one like it's like rock kind of thing, the Corn, and some reggae. I wrote the song and I'm singing on it, so it's kind of a new kind of sound, but it's so it's gonna come out, that one, and a little bit better. But the first the kids music is gonna come. It's amazing, really, such a blessing. Like I'm excited to share that with you all.
Israel, if one of us want to get a hold of you, what's the best way for them to get a hold of you?
You can go with Megabi Skate on Instagram, or megabiskate@gmail.com. But our website is like it's renewed now, so like we're almost done. So as well, like megabiskate.com, you will find all the resources, like how to get connected with us. There, and to see like few things there, what we do.
Cool.
Yeah, but the easiest, if you guys are using the Instagram, Megabi Skate.
Israel, I just want to let you know, I want to give you a personal invitation. Tuesday Zoom calls, man, are for skate ministry leaders, for us to connect with one another and to connect with other leaders, with each other, and what's going on in the world with skate ministry, you know? So first off, I want to give you a personal invitation. You're more than welcome to join every Tuesday, or any Tuesday that you want to join. You know, we'd love to have you. You know, we'd love to have you part of this family.
Thank you.
And, you know, we really want to start praying for each other, start connecting with each other, and learning from each other. You know, I've learned a lot through you, you know, just not giving up, being humble, and also sharing your vision, because it wasn't easy, man. I mean, you know, you make it look easy when you check out your Instagram. You're hanging out with like Nija and stuff, but that wasn't easy, man. That was a gift from God. I remember that. So I just yeah, I just wanted them to hear your story. And can you give us, I know you have the kids song thing. Can you let us know anything that Megabi is doing? Like, how are you guys doing with the pandemic, and what is your future? What is the future for you guys right now?
Yeah, right now, yeah, with the pandemic, it's like we're doing it with the girls. We really have been keeping like being really careful, and also like to keep the program with them. It was very important, like to have it in a regular basis because they were going through a lot. So, but also like to they needed a lot of kids are in need at this very moment, and for it's like the poorest is gonna be even just like it's gonna be really really hard for them. So like that's what we're about to do, like the fundraising and fundraising event, or probably we're gonna do like a fundraising small virtual concert. But yeah, that's what's happening with the pandemic. But we are planning to do it by beginning of next year to rebuild the one that we have lost with the fire, so that the kids will have more access to be able to just a better place to stay, and a better place to do the programs with them. So it's definitely we're gonna need more of like putting the word out, and rebuilding Megabi Skate, and do more skate. What was that? That's
Israel, I saw on YouTube that you're featured with Solomon Jabi or Jabi.
I was seeing that.
Is that a band?
Huh?
Is that a band person?
So that's Solomon is one of the Christafari. So we are gonna do a new reggae band together with him.
Okay.
So we've been So we've been recording a few songs, which is actually, and also videos, music videos, which is coming soon as well. So he and I are forming a new band. So it's we're coming with the name. So we have 2 names at the hand. But we haven't chosen it, but it's we're more inclining to Megabi roots or something. Yeah. So it's more reggae with Solomon Jabi. He's an amazing musician and an amazing brother in Christ, and it's a blessing making this music with him. Yeah, check out his music as well. Really, it's a blessing. That's Solomon Jabi. We did I did a few songs, Jah Word, with him. If you guys can check it, like Jah Word, or I did 3 songs with him on Soul Liberation. So.
Thank you for the feedback. Well, Izzy, thank you so much for being on this call, man. I really appreciate it. I know I called you kind of like, girl, I want you to come share. I didn't give you much direction, so I really appreciate. I always like when it's organic and you're just.
We hear you, Manny.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
So Izzy, I'm looking forward to visit soon. You're gonna come visit soon, right?
Yes. I know Israel.
Too, but Izzy's coming to visit soon. He said so. Ready.
I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward. It's been a minute.
Go have fun in Miami.
All right, so before we leave, why don't we pray, and why don't we pray for each other? You know, Izzy, and
Yes.
yeah, I just want to pray for you, man. And you
Thank
can
you.
pray for us, and whoever wants to pray, let's open it up. And I think it's important. I think Bible studies are super important. So, and I think praying is super important. But I just really wanted to just bring you in and just have you share what's going on with your ministry. And so I just think it's important to close in prayer and just thank God, right? Let's just thank God for you, man. Like, thank you, man. Like, the Lord is so good. And Father, I just want to take this time, God, and thank you for skate ministry. Thank you for the faith that dwells within the foundation of skate ministry. I mean, even dropping in today, I was watching a little Grom for the first time, having to trust me to say, put your foot this way and lean forward, and to see the kid do it and to see his eyes. Well, Lord, I identify with a life with you, because all you ask is for us to have faith in you, that you will do the work. Lord, it's not by power and it's not by might. We all know that, Lord, but sometimes we can get caught up. So, Lord, I just want to pray for all the leaders. And even if there's someone that's not a skate ministry leader, maybe he just stumbled upon this. And I just want to pray for every one of us on this call, for, Lord, just for vision, God, and for love and grace and everything, God, everything that's involved in a life of you, Lord. So, God, I just thank you for the passion that you give us. And Lord, I'm so thankful for Israel, for knowing that no matter what, I have a friend that I can call. And every time me and Izzy talk, it's like we haven't talked to each other. It doesn't even matter if we talk every day. When we get on the phone, it's like we haven't talked in a long time. And Lord, I thank you for him. And I know it's not easy. And I know that he's been through a lot of opposition, but God, he's always had faith in you. So God, thank you for this call. Thank you for this time. And I don't know what it's going to look like in the next month, but Lord, I just know that this is the fact that I'm praying right now, and the fact that we can pray for each other. I know that you're stoked. So Lord, I just want to pray for everyone on the call, for all the Christian skaters out there, Lord, that is using their love for skating as a platform to reach the lost. That's a huge thing, God. And that was a thing that churches, a lot of people did not understand. But I look on this call and there's like 14 people on the call. Oh, wow. That's huge for me, God. And I just want to encourage everyone on this call to continue to have that faith, that drop in faith, God, that we just got to put our first foot. We just got to lean forward, and we don't know how it's going to go. We just got to trust. So Lord, I trust that you're going to, the good work that you put in skate ministry, you're going to complete it. So Lord, thank you so much for this call.
Father God, thank you for the time that we spent together, and thank you for blessing each other with having a brotherly and sisterly love as Christ commanded us, and show us to love and live for Christ. Father God, and I pray that that you've given us direction and guidance on the way that we should go and on our ministry, and until we see you, Jesus, and give us your wisdom so we can listen to you more and just let you go before us. And I thank you for the Christian Skaters Ministry and for each and every one of them who have been doing this ministry wherever they're at, and bless them and give them strength and give us how we live and how we walk in this world, and when we face challenge and troubles, and when we see things that you want us to be a light for, so we can shine our light. And thank you, God, for this time that we are together. And in Jesus' name we pray.
Lord, I also want to pray for the center, Lord, that it just fully recover, Lord, after the fire, Lord, that you open doors, Lord, where the doors were closed, and bring in kids and just open that area and just bless every corner of it, Lord. Just thank you for just having that warrior mentality that Israel has. Thank you for just keeping him strong in times when there's trouble, like that fire. And Lord, I just thank you for just the blessing that you have provided that community through Israel. And Lord, I just pray for the times and the resources for the music that's ahead. Lord, you know what talents are there and you've seen, and Lord, help speak through those songs, speak through the different artists that get together and collaborate. Lord, you love collaboration. Lord, you use it all over the place, and even through songs like Adonai, just help it bring glory to you, Lord. And just pray for those in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Well, amen.
Amen. Amen. Israel, you're beautiful, brother. You're beautiful.
Thank
You
you.
reflect his glory. You reflect his love, and even your countenance shows it, brother. I just thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, man. Thank you.
Going across the world. We're seeing it everywhere.
Man, God has been taking everywhere. Praise God. Yeah.
Well, listen, man, hopefully we'll see you next Tuesday. You know, you're more than welcome to join our call.
For having me. Yeah, thank you.
You
It's
know?
the same time, right? Is it?
Yeah,
the same,
it's going to be 4 o'clock on your time.
Okay.
Okay. We'd
great.
love to have you join, and we can continue to be praying and hearing more about you.
Yo, Zion. What's up, brother?
What's up, dude?
How's it going, man?
It's going good.
Nice.
Awesome, man. Well, listen, guys, thank you guys so much. Guys, if you have any questions or if you have any ideas, please hit me up. I had someone from Oklahoma. I'm the worst at names. I think his name's Jonathan. I should know his name. But he's such a rad dude.
Yeah.
He hit me up with a possibility of having the guys from the red jumpsuit apparatus maybe kind of join the call and kind of talk a little bit about their ministry and what they've been doing. I just don't know too much about. I've seen them before, but I really don't know. So I wanted to bring it to you guys and what you guys thought. Maybe there's someone that'd be stoked to interview him. I asked Jonathan if he'd want to interview him, and because I just don't. I hate to say no, because I don't. You know, I think that's like maybe a gift from God. Maybe God's saying, hey, you know, what do you think about these guys? They're not. I don't know if they're skaters or not. They're like kids in a band. I don't know, but I just wanted to see what you guys thought. Maybe they're not kids anymore. I don't know. Tony's telling me they've been around for a long time. But I don't even know if you guys know who they are. But if you guys would be down, if you guys want to hit me up, be like, hey, man, that'd be something I'd be down to do, is maybe interview them. And you guys will do a lot better job than I will, because So if you guys want to do
come
that,
on, Yuli.
Yeah, Darren, do you know something?
What's that?
You know something about him?
I just know a little bit, and they're not really from Oklahoma, I don't think. But Jonathan's got a little bit more connections than I got. So
yeah, I just thought what an opportunity. And I don't want to say no, but I have to. I think next week Anthony Carney is going to be joining us. I think I'm still trying to get him to do it. If not, it'll be us. We'll figure it out. I'd like to get into some of the Bible study formats too. I think that's important. So I'm going to get back into that.
Nice.
And, it's not going to be any more like skate videos and stuff like that I'd like to do. But I just want to honor your all's time. So if you guys want to just think about it, I don't know, Tim, if the red jumpsuit apparatus, I know you're involved with a lot of youth, and I thought maybe that could be, I don't know, it's up to you. I don't know. Lyle, I don't know. What do you guys think?
I would love to hear about 180 skate and
Yeah.
houses too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyways.
But also on Monday nights, there's the Grind Conference. They're doing some Bible study tools and some tools that we learned on like the 3/3 and the 411 training. Like, so they're having a Zoom call. It's at 7:00 Central Time. And on the Instagram page, the Grind Conference, you can find the link to register for that.
Is that a one-time thing, or is that going to be like
This was week 2 on Monday. So next week we're going to cover, we covered the why and the who, and next week we'll cover the what and the when of the tool. But it's at like I think a 6-week thing that's left at it. So.
And what time on Mondays?
It's 7 p.m. Central. So I'm not sure where, Drew, you're in Seattle, so it's at 2 hours behind.
Yeah.
So it's 5 p.m. your time. So
there's a mess hall too on Monday that happens.
Yeah, that happens at 7. So we're still good. My time.
But Israel, man, it's a pleasure seeing you guys. I mean, I've followed some of the Megabi stuff, and especially through Yuli and them. So it's a pleasure.
Thank you. It's a pleasure there.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Big Tim.
Guys, man, have a great week.
Thank you, everyone.
Let me know, man. I wish somebody's gonna hit me up about this red jumpsuit apparatus, people. I wanna have them because I think it's rad. I'd like to hear a little bit about them and how they use. Because think about us. We use skateboarding to reach. They're using rock and roll, man. They're in if you know anything about that, you can call it a Christian event or whatever. They're still dark, you know what I mean? Like, I've gone to see Christian rock bands at a secular place, and their audience is a dark audience. So
they were at Warped Tour, but they also were part of Cornerstone Crew. So
Yeah.
way back when. So
Yeah.
I
I would just hate. I would hate to say no, and I would hate to not do it in excellence. So if any of you know them, or if you'd be down to kind of hold an hour of a conversation better than me, please do it. Hit me up. Okay.
We could give you the questions to ask.
Okay. I was gonna say, what about Joe Biden? No, I'm just kidding. That's a joke. That's a joke. Sorry.
You're good, brother.
All right, man. I'll talk to you guys later.
Well, everyone,
Hey, I
God bless
love you, Izzy. Don't forget to send me that video.
I'm gonna send you right now.
I love you guys so much.
Thank you, guys.
Bless you, Israel.
Bless you guys. Bye.
Bye, Tony. Bye, Yuli.
All right. Talk soon, guys.
Bye, Tim.